Brainiacs. What's cracking, everybody? Yeah, it is Monday. Manic Monday, right? Yeah. September the 13th. Damn, where is this month going? It's already September the 13th. Yeah, man. As I walk through the valley of death, I will fear nothing. Tonight I'm going to be joined with my good friend Michelle Espinosa, my shaman girl, and my good friend Megan Scott, the Matrix Minds card reader, as well as a psychic medium. We're going to dive deep into the world of paranormal as well as demonic possession and all kinds of things that's going to make you go, oh boy. You guys ready to do this? My friends, let's dive deep into the world of paranormal and demonic possession. I'm ready when you are. Let's go. Let's go, brains. Yeah. Let's do this. One of the fastest growing talk shows on the internet. Your show, welcome aboard the Matrix Minds. One of the most controversial conspiratorial shows on the internet, the Matrix Minds. And that's right. Buckle up, everybody. Let's go. Paranormal, huh? Conspiracy, huh? Ufology, hidden Egyptology, and anything and everything we can get our hands on. Let's go. Welcome aboard. The Matrix Minds. The Matrix Minds. Your show.
You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland.
What up there, Miss
And I show you how deep the red
Angie Sellers in the house? Andy Cassidy, you picked the topic, my friend.
Stay in Wonderland.
Miss Tammy Bonham, what's going on, girlfriend?
Stay in Wonderland.
Hello, Miss Carla. Mr. Earl Fields. Leanna Phillips. Angela Stats. Alright, let's do this. Tonight is going to be an interesting talk. We're going to talk about all things paranormal, all things demonic. We're going to be talking to some, mainly these two, Michelle Espinosa and Megan Scott. These two ladies here, they are the ones that go through it right here. So without a doubt, let me unmute these two wonderful ladies, good souls. Michelle Espinosa is our shaman here on the Matrix. Miss Michelle, say hello.
Hi, gorgeous souls.
And my card reader, Miss Megan Scott. Megan Scott, psychic medium as well as Tara. Howdy. How are you guys doing?
I'm good. How are you? I'm doing great.
Doing good. We're doing good. Had a hell of a day there, Megan.
Yes, very much so.
Had a hell of a day. You and I did.
Yes.
Miss Michelle, she's
I was going to say, you guys were busy today.
Very much so.
Yes. All morning.
Pretty much. I think it killed the majority of the morning. What's that?
3.5 hours?
Yeah, I do believe it was about 3.5 hours. Yeah. So the topic of the show is, as I walk through the valley of death, I will fear nothing. Because a lot of people, guys, that don't really understand, or they may think, as Michelle says it, they may think that they understand, but they don't really understand. Sometimes people get themselves in a lot deeper of a hole, and they wander into territory that can get their ass in a real deep sling. Michelle, you want to touch on that a little bit? As I've got my incense burning. I got my shaman.
Good boy.
I got my shaman spray. I've sprayed the shit out of my mic. I got sprayed myself. I sprayed the doorway. So whatever negativity gonna come at me is gonna go right out that door. I'm talking the outside.
I'm laughing at what you're saying because as we're setting up to do the show, I got my sulfur pulled out. I have my incense going. I have my skull crystals all pulled out. I'm like, see, I'm prepared.
Oh yeah, see, I got her burning, man. She burning. Got my frankincense, baby. Got my frankincense. I got my whole slew of healing stones and crystals and shit. Oh yeah, we're ready. We're ready for tonight's topic, without a doubt. Megan, like I said, me and Megan already went through a hell of a day. We had a hell of a day. Yeah. That's to say the least. Ain't it, Megs?
Yeah. Let me say this, and then I think you guys should speak, not fully about that direct situation because that's confidential, right. But a bit on what happened to you today. But I want to say this first because of what you had said. And I'm not trying to sound condescending by any means when I am saying that to people. I'm just saying a lot of times people learned a little bit about something, a little bit about a little bit of something, and they think they're becoming more well-versed in the area, so to speak, and before they know it, they've gotten themselves in over their head. And then there's a whole lot of problems that happen because they're not fully versed in the area. And even somebody like me who's gone to school, I mean, I've gone to school for, I think it's 5 years on it, and become, my certification is actually holds a legal, degree in health and well-being. And even I have my times where I'm like, okay, whoa, I got to back up and take a good look here, and so I don't mean to sound condescending, but it happens all too often that people get in over their head because they got a little bit too cocky or thinking that they, knew something about it, and then, oh, really? I didn't know what I thought I knew is where I'm trying to go with that. I don't mean to sound so negative about it, but you get what I'm saying.
They reach that oh shit moment. They're like, oh boy. And that's when they come to you. They come to you, the shaman, the cleanup crew, or someone like myself, or you know what? You're above me. Okay, I gotta say that you are above me by hands down. Hands down, you are above me.
You have it all locked in you, just like every single one of you have it all locked in you. But unlocking it is the key, and there's pieces that are still locked up tight.
Right. I agree. I completely agree with you. I will not disagree with you. But hands down, you got her. I mean, wow. I mean, Megan, she's been through the mill too when it comes to walking the dead, and dealing with the past, those that have passed over, and those who have committed suicide, those who've been tragically taken. And then you've got I always say, I say it this way, and I know it's going to make some people mad, but I always say that if you're an asshole here, you're going to be an asshole over there. Well, there's the difference between an asshole over there and you being an asshole here, and then the actual demonic entities, those that are nothing but bottom-dwelling, fear-eating mongrels, right? James Harper loved to say mongrels. And I'm just saying, I mean, it is what it is. It's that demonic force, that demonic entity that loves to feed on the bottom. But there's a difference.
But I want to interrupt because there are so many people out there who as soon as something is a negative energy or a negative entity, they direct it and steer it directly towards demonic. And a lot of times it's not that at all. Now, I'm not going to deny, oh, yes, there's the demonic energies. But there are ones who very much, this is where I said, people get on that, I know a little bit about something, a little bit of something, and I've learned something. But then the universe comes back and goes, oh, yeah, see, you really don't know as much as you think. And I'm not even saying me saying that. I mean, that's when you get smacked with these things, that you've gotten in over your head. Because certain people will automatically, get on that bandwagon of, well, so it's negative, so automatically that makes it evil. And that's not necessarily so. I mean, I just want to state that that's not always the case. And a lot of times it's a suffering soul that needs to be healed. And if it does not suffer, if it does not get its healing, yes, it's going to create something incredibly bad. But it's not that it can't be saved, if you get what I'm trying to say. I mean, like I said, there is the demonic soul, but then there's the false idea because of fear automatically that just puts it in your head that that's exactly what it is. Because
there's those souls that will, sorry, go ahead.
Well, I mean, and you know this because you've been in that area. I mean, like the people who we have to do psychopump on, who we have to cross over into the light. A lot of times they don't want to go into the light for many different reasons. And sometimes it's fear. Sometimes they don't even know they're dead. Sometimes, they're just, there's an array of reasons behind it. But if they ultimately stay in the parallel universe, eventually it's going to get very bad for them. But that doesn't mean that they can't be swayed into going where they're supposed to go.
Yeah.
If you get what I'm saying.
There's also those souls out there that are supposed to, go through the evolution of evolving, and then there's those souls that won't because they're the evil of all evils, and they won't evolve. They won't step up and, get, a different consciousness, and they're always going to stay down there. And those are the ones that are just, they're horrible. And
oh yeah, no, I'm not denying that.
Me and Matt encountered one today.
Well,
yeah, I think you guys should speak on that a little bit.
Without throwing names out there, right? I won't throw names. I'll just say John Doe, right? John Doe came through the show here, and literally, it was last night. It was last night. Yeah, it was last night. I was sitting and I was eating dinner, and I got a message, just a random friend message, and that message was speaking in a riddle, as well as like speaking in parable wording, right? And without a doubt, I was like, something told me. I don't usually, because I don't want to like spark up a conversation with 500 people, okay? Because It's hard as hell to respond to 500 people. I very rarely will respond to. I mean, I notice you guys are there, okay? I notice all of you brainiacs are there, and you send me love all the time, and I appreciate that. I really do. But the problem is I cannot really respond to every single one of you. Please know that. I can't. But know that I see it. Know that I love you, and I do respect you saying hi to me. But something come through, and the hair on the back of my neck stood up. Okay, I just got a feeling, and that feeling was, Matt, you better respond to this. And the call, actually, the gentleman tried to call, John Doe tried to call through Facebook Messenger, and I'm like, I promise you I will get right back to you as soon as I'm done eating. And he dropped a parable. He didn't drop a statement, he dropped a parable. Okay? And that parable had to do with one-eyed minions. Would you remember, Megan, what it was exactly? I shared it with you. or let's try to go back. Let me see if I can go back here.
Here,
You said it was both of us. I just couldn't respond.
Yeah, there was. Hold on. It was something about. It was okay. Hold on. It was the one-eyed. I've seen the one-eyed minions long before. Hold on. Where's it at?
I'm trying to find it. Again, it's very. That's how quick it happens. Whenever people send me messages.
Yeah.
It's already buried. Here we go. Okay. So the first wording that was ever sent to me was, "One-eyed minions have spoken to you long before you'd ever seen them." And I responded by saying, "Whom would that be? Or do I even want to know?" Question mark. And it come back saying, I asked the same question. Why? Explanation point. And I said, well, hang on a second. I'll give you a call back. I promise you. I just slammed dinner, so give me a second. Here comes another parable. Have you been the rock? Exclamation point. The stones. Have you been the rock? Explanation point. The stones. And I'm like thinking to myself, what the hell? And immediately, again, the hair on the back of my neck stood up. I'm like, I'm going to have to armor up here and before I even call this man. So I did. I called in my guides. I called them. I'm on my way to a friend's house, and I can't really talk to John Doe at the moment, but I call him, and I tell him, I can't really talk to you very long, but I'm willing to talk to you for a little bit, figure out what's going on. Let's talk. And the moment I started talking to him about the situation, the fear porn on the media, and we started bringing forth different things, I noticed he started talking erratically and changing his voice. And with that being said, I'm like, okay, what's going on here? And I'm like, I said, John Doe, I need you to come back to me because I sense something going on with you. And I looked at him. I said, look at me. And I looked at him, and he kind of smiled at me. And Michelle, I'm telling you right now, every hair on my arms stood up. Okay. I'm being honest with you. Every hair on my arm stood up. Every hair on the back of my neck. I'm like, oh shit.
I'm sorry. I'm laughing because I know that. I know that feeling.
Yeah. And whenever that happened, I'm like, I mean, at that moment, I'm like, John Doe, I said, do me a favor for a minute. I almost pulled over. I'm looking in my phone's camera. I'm like, John Doe. I'm like, John Doe. I'll refer to you as John. I'm like, John, who is this? And again, it smiled, and as it smiled, it started to drool. And I'm like, I'm not kidding. It started to drool, and I'm like, okay. At this point, I'm at my friend's house. I'm in the driveway. He's in the house, mind you. Okay, he don't even really know I'm there, but I'm like, I need you to listen to what I'm saying, whatever way you take it. I said, but John, you and I will have a confrontation tomorrow. I don't really have the time to spend with you now, but I assure you that you and I will talk tomorrow. Now, that was today. Okay? Megan and I already got her forewarned what was going to happen and what was going on. Michelle, she was tied up a little bit. She was with mom. Had some things going on. But
gotta protect mom first.
Oh yeah. So I got right. I got over there with Megan. I let her know we're gonna call John Doe. And Megan ensured that I armor up. So I called in my spirit guides. Megan calls in Rock, calls in her spirit guides. And I add her to this group chat with also John Doe. And Michelle, she's also in that group. Again, this is a being. This is a person. Okay, that is also a Matrix Breaker listener. He's a listener. And it probably was what, Megan, how long was we talking to him before I'm like, you know what, enough is enough, because I just cut the how go you help me here, Megan.
Oh my God, he was just rambling, and like he was just going on, and he kept throwing like little things out, saying little things, and I mean he started. It was like within like I'm gonna say about maybe 7 or 8 minutes of him talking on his second rambling series of Matt was like, okay, you know what?
Yes. Yeah, I'm like, okay, enough's enough. Okay, when he started, whenever it started to mock Megan,
yeah,
that's about when I've had it. I could tell, because again, the spirit was downloading to me. This was a mockery, okay? Because there was something that exponentially has happened in Megan's life, and Megan tuned into it really, really keenly, and I also picked up on it, okay? Megan, what was that? What you tell them about that? Tell them about the birdie in the ear and the voice and the spirit.
So he was talking about whenever he was a child, he would hear this voice, and because he didn't understand it and he couldn't see it, so he would use his finger as a little birdie and have this little birdie whisper, and he would put it to his ear, and he'd be like pretending like his finger is this little birdie talking to him in his ear. Okay, for one, I'm a blue avian. 2, Ra speaks to me, and Ra is a blue avian, and then he said some other stuff that was personal that hit, and in the meantime of him talking about this, and it was just like I knew instantly that he was poking at me, and I was just like, okay, you know what? I'm about to fucking get really mad. Oops, I'm about to get really mad here, and Matt instantly picked up on it, because I mean me and him have a very strong connection, and it's like he knew something, because I was just like looking at him, and I mean like I was like ready to reach in his bone, and it was just because he was like, I would pretend like my finger was this little birdie, this little blue bird in my ear, this little bluebird in my ear talking, and I'm like, really.
If Megan could have passed out, virtual ass whoopings, that would have been the thing right there.
So but that's what they do.
Oh yeah,
that's what they do, though.
All right,
they're looking to intimidate you and push your buttons, because if they can throw you off, just like the slogan for the show, I will fear no evil.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to find any button they can,
right,
to make sure that they can find any way in to do that. And that's one of the biggest tricks that you have to do when you're dealing with anything that's dark, whether it's demonic or just dark, is you can't lose your cool. You can't.
Well, I think I did pretty good. Okay, because when it started mocking Megan is when I put my foot down, and I said, I told John Doe, I walked John Doe. You gotta remember, I'm a clinical hypnotherapist. Okay, so I walked John Doe into Andy Cassidy. Said, "Did you record it, Matt?" And Julie Trouse says, "A mocking spirit." Yes, exactly. Andy Cassidy. Yes, we recorded the entire thing. Julie, we'll touch on the mocking spirit in just 1 second. So here's the thing. The moment that, again, that it started to mock Megan, okay, you got to remember, Megan is a sweetheart medium. I don't quite, like, I even asked her after the fact. I asked her if she's ever dealt with that, and she said no. Well, firsthand experience was now, so it's good. We got her in turn. Nevertheless, It's a crash course in demonology. So, right, Michelle? Crash course in demonology. Don't try this at home.
Unfortunately, yeah, that's usually how it's going to take place.
So John Doe.
I've
here.
pushed out stuff out of people and attachments, but on this level, doing this, I never have done this. But hey, there's a first time for everything, and everybody's a virgin at something somewhere.
Right.
So
John Doe here.
Let
me get to this. John Doe. I made sure that John Doe could close his eyes. Was able to hear me. Again, like you guys have already heard me do a PLR, past life regression. I walked him into tuning into my voice, hearing me, drawing the consciousness forward, tuned into right ear, left ear consciousness behind the eyelids. John Doe knew that John Doe was in the vehicle, okay? And at that moment, John Doe could feel something inside of him, okay? Something manipulating. He as Michelle says, it's a vibrational frequency that you can feel. You can feel it in your body. You can feel that negativity starting to
it rattles.
It rattles. It's almost like a pressure. You almost get a sense of a smell. I smell your demonic ass. All right. So when John,
you can often smell sulfur. That's one reason why I use sulfur.
I've never done that. I've never used sulfur. I mean, I am frankincense out the ass. I've got frankincense and myrrh. I've got
No. What I'm saying is when you're dealing with the darker entity, you can usually smell something like rotten eggs, shit.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, I mean feces. It's a bad, disgusting, revolting smell that comes with them.
Right.
And I use sulfur as a crystal because that's just one of my go-tos. Because technically, I mean, the way that it was given to me from my guides is sulfur is actually brimstone from the Bible, which is actually meant to erase. Now, to each and everyone who, like Megan, she uses titanium, right? Was it titanium?
Yes,
exactly. I mean, so I'm not saying that sulfur is the only right thing. I'm saying that's just mine. But so for me, I definitely will smell the sulfur because it's something I'm used to having with me. But when I can smell that funk, I wasn't saying like the frankincense and stuff that you were using. I'm saying you'll start to get the bad smell because its frustration is coming out. So it's kind of like the way Spirit explains it to me is, you know how like when you have a cat and the cat hasn't been fixed yet and it still sprays and it's spraying its territory, it's marking its territory. So the smell starts to come out because in its frantic frustration, its smell is trying to mark the territory.
Right.
That's why I wasn't saying it wasn't the frankincense, but the funk that you were smelling. That's normal.
Right. Well, I mean, I didn't get a sense of smell. In fact, I didn't even. It happened so fast. Put it this way: when it started to mock Megan, I didn't have time to light my sage. I didn't have time to light my incense. I mean, I've got a shit ton of. I've got my pendants on my neck. I've got my guides on my back. It knew I was ready to do battle with it last night. Okay. I mean, I know this already. I know that it knew that last night because number one, it was ignoring me the entire night.
Oh God, yeah, it was.
Okay. So long story short, me and Megan, after it decided to come forward, I called it to the front. And John Doe's like, literally, it's Megan. I'm not lying. Is drooling. Is frothing at the mouth. Is foaming at the mouth. His nose was drooling. And I'm like, again, I'm like, I looked at it. I told it. I'm like, look at me. I said, do you have any idea what you're up against? Because I wanted it to know that I was in charge. Also, as well as John Doe is at the forefront. Okay, the conscious mind of the being. Because you got to remember, those who don't realize you are a spirit in a body. You're not a body with a spirit. You're in the vehicle. Okay, I am me. I am between my ears and behind my eyes. I'm in my pituitary gland. I'm in the vehicle, driving the vehicle. Okay? So John Doe was, again, consciously aware of what was going on to a point and could help me facilitate the entity inside of the vehicle. You gotta go. You don't belong here. I may have given you authority then, but then is not now. Now is now, and we'll never be able to replicate now. Now is so very important. You've heard
Can I interrupt?
Yeah, absolutely.
I want to interrupt because you have a lot of listeners.
Okay, yes.
And I want to put it out there in the most safest way possible. What you did, what you and Megan did today, like I said, I wasn't able to be around. I kept tabs on you a little bit, but I wasn't able to be around for it. And what you guys did today was, a very good thing. However, this is why I said when the show began, some people believe they have the skills and some people really don't, and they think they do. And I just don't want to make it sound like it was the easiest thing in the world because you got in your power. A lot of people don't know how to get in their power. And I want to make it very clear that if you're standing there believing you're in your power, see, the difference is Matt was in his power. Matt knew, I am not going to be budged. At this moment, I have just become the Lion of God, so to speak, if you want to put it in that form. Yeah. He stepped into that act and that form of energy. But if you step into a form of energy in anything that you're in a battle with that's demonic, negative, and you're faking it, you don't fully believe that power behind you, or if you're doing it, but you're actually doing it, this is what I say all the time. I'm like, people, well, especially right now with society, it's changing, it's crumbling, it's shifting. People are awakening. People are starting to come into realizing, the empath and the psychic energy is real. People are starting to come into these powers and they're feeling it, but on an empath level, sometimes they're not really going deep enough to see the full truth. And then they get confused between, what they've learned all of their life and the way things are, versus what the truth really is. And all I'm saying is if you are not fully in that power to be able to be like, piss off, plain and simple, you can sit here and drool on me, you piece of shit demon. Yeah. And I'm going to laugh at you and be like, I'm still warm because I'm in the light. Don't that suck for you?
Don't you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
That's me. That's how I deal with them. I'm like, don't that suck for you? Because I'm all warm and fuzzy, But what I'm saying is people can come into that energy because they're fighting, but they fully, that ego part of them is telling them to fight. But this is why I say all the time, you cannot let your emotions control you. Because if you're coming with that energy from that cocky, mean, vindictive, you're going to back off or I'm going to whoop your ass, energy, then all you're doing is feeding it.
Yep, you're feeding it.
Exactly. And you have to be able to stand in that power. That's like I said, when I deal with it a lot of times, I'm like, yeah, I got self-wrong. What are you going to do? Shut up. I'm warm and fuzzy. Aren't you cold yet? Good luck with that. I mean, and it's not that I'm cocky, and I made mistakes. I've had problems. But I just want to make sure I'm throwing it out there for your listeners that just because you're hearing this from them and they came into that power doesn't mean, just assume that you can do it. I'm not saying you can't, but like I said, I get stuck being the cleanup crew a lot, and when you should have just asked.
Well,
because we're here to help.
Shell, I don't think you're going to have to be my cleanup crew. I don't believe so, anyway.
No, I don't mean that. I'm saying, but I mean, I'm just being honest. You have a lot of people who are what I call spiritual newborns, learning how to come into their power, learning how to, come into their authenticity and grow. And that needs to be their first thing, instead of being, look, I'm a badass. Because you're not a badass until you started learning how to truly know yourself and know those powers. And I just want to make sure that while you're going through all of this, and this is a wonderful thing that you're doing and what you did today and where we're going, there are so many people out there who are not yet on that level, and they need to realize that they still need a lot of spiritual work and learning before they get to that level, so that they don't cause themselves trouble. That's all I'm trying to say.
You're not wanting
Yeah, 'cause a lot of people are
grief.
bigger than their spirituality.
What's that?
Yeah, they need to be very grounded in it.
Yeah. A lot of people that have big, think that just because one person did it, then if they can do it, I can do it. No, it's not that simple. I mean, and it's not. And you touched on a very good point telling that, Michelle,
Well,
because...
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, what I was trying to get at, long story short, that was long-winded. What I'm trying to say, because what they just said to me is, long-winded shout. What they're trying to say is, you could be, like I said, Matt went into that, so to speak, line of God energy, and, oh no, we're going to handle you, and we're going to handle you now. But if you come forth with that energy, speaking those words, but truthfully, deep down, you're still shaking in your boots, that energy can see that. That energy can see through that lie. And that is the key. Because if you don't fully believe it, then you need to shut up, sit down. Because if you don't fully believe where you're at, and you're still shaking in your boots, and you can't fully back your support of your own faith in that, then you're opening yourself up for a whole whammy of problems. And I'm not saying,
Oh, yeah.
I'm just saying, if you're not in that power and you have any shadow of doubt, of denial in your heart and soul at that moment that you shouldn't do it because you don't have that faith, then you shouldn't, because trust me, it will see it and it will feed on it.
Oh, yeah. Yes. So they're wanting to hear the rest of this story. Okay.
Yes, and I'll shut up.
It's okay. So where were you, Mama? Where were you? I'm just kidding. I know you were with Mom. You were with Mom. You would have probably, like, I don't know. You probably wanted to go through the phone and whoop somebody's ass too, but nevertheless,
I probably would have.
we put this to bed.
I'm going to put myself back.
Okay, so and nevertheless.
Sorry.
Once we found out, here's the thing, because like Julie Troust said, mocking spirit, and that's exactly what it started to do. It started to mock Megan, started to mock me, and I'm like, enough is enough. And I started to call. I told it wouldn't, at this point, it wouldn't listen to me. It really wouldn't listen to me. I'm trying to get it. I'm trying to force it to listen to me, but it's not listening to me. So again, John Doe, the conscious mind, at the forefront. I said, John, make it tell me its name. Make it tell me its name.
Do not say it.
Well, anyway, I did. I told.
No, I'm saying don't say it on air.
Oh, don't repeat it?
No.
Yes.
Well,
Don't repeat it.
Well, we all. I mean, even my wife's like, don't. I'm like, man, I'll deal with it again if it happens to come my way again. Problem is. It kept telling me minions. I'm going, no, bullshit. Give me your name. Give me your name. I'm commanding you. Look at me, and give me your name. And it kept minion, and it smiled, and I'm like, You know what? I'm like, okay, because it's telling me that there was legion within him. And I'm like, really? Okay. So this is a Jezebel, because this is a Jezebel spirit, which is a mocking spirit, Jezebel, right? We all know that spirit's name. It's just, that isn't really even a name. It's just a, I don't know, what do you call that one? How's this terminology, Michelle? That is a generic chicken ass spirit name that they all go by. Okay? Jezebel.
Yes.
Okay? a mocking ass spirit. That's what it is. So we called Jezebel out. Okay? Somewhere in this being is the chief being. Okay? So we tell Jezebel, I want you to sit your ass down and bring me the commander-in-chief. I want to deal with the chief now, right now. And again, it just smiled. It literally smiled. Megan's like, I don't know what Megan's doing. I know she's rocking a lot. She's being really quiet. She's going, oh shit. So I'm like, again, I look at, I'm telling her, I'm like, look at me. Don't look away from me. Look at me. Look at me. Who are you? Give me your name. And finally, it's like started to like stutter. I'm going, keep going. Give me your name. And it gives me its name. Bingo. That'll do. That's a great enough name that I know that you are a chief among a legion. Okay? Mm-hmm. You are a chief among a nation legion. So now you done fucked up and gave me your name. Now guess what? You don't belong in that being. And you know it. John Doe has already told you that you don't belong in that being. I'm telling you to listen clearly as John Doe's telling you through me and through his own self. You don't belong in the being. John's a Christian man. Isn't he, Megan? John's a Christian man.
Yes, very much.
So we go back to his belief system. The mind knows the power of Christ. The mind and the body knows that Christ is his rock and his cornerstone. So then we own that.
The crazy thing that happened when you were talking to getting the name of that, remember the thing that popped up on my TV? The lady preaching?
Yeah. Yes. That's pretty weird. That's pretty interesting. I've never had a physical interaction like that. But Megan's YouTube just suggested and started playing a woman that was doing a recital of Matthew 24 and the Bible, and talking about
covering.
Go ahead,
covering
Megan.
In the blood of Jesus.
Right.
Covering in the blood of Jesus. Covering in the blood of Jesus and casting out Satan and his followers. And it just popped up on my TV.
So it's time.
On my YouTube.
It's time for this commander-in-chief to go bye-bye. Okay? Yeah. Draw it forward. Give the vessel the strength in which it believes, which is the power of Christ. And there you go. Okay? John Doe and myself had the entity itself admit it doesn't belong in the vehicle. It doesn't belong in the vehicle. And I want you to say it. Tell me it. Don't just listen to me. I want you to tell me. Tell me now. And it stuttered, but it got it out. And said, and you're going to take every single being entity with you, because they don't belong there either. So you're the chief commander. Your ass grabs them and you leave now. You leave now. Michelle, I was proud of myself.
Yes.
I was proud of John Doe. I truly was.
I seen whenever it was coming out of him, whenever he was it was like he was pulling it out of his mouth, and I seen it, and it looked like a nasty looking snake. And it was just gross.
Now again, you guys may think you may think I'm bullshitting you because of the Matrix show, but I don't believe for a moment that the man will really, really not have a problem with me sharing this, because he too has been in the show business. Okay, I'll just say that. And
For a long time.
For a long time. And I don't think that him allowing me to share this with you, he'll have a problem with it. I will, however, get his grace and his authority to let me release the video, but I have got the entire exorcism from beginning to end. From beginning to end. And again, it is not an easy thing to do. I did not get egotistical. I was talking to it like I'm talking to you right now. I'm not egotistical. I'm very humble. Okay? But I'll be damned if I'm going to be humble to an entity that has hijacked a vehicle without his grace in the present moment. The being knew. It knew that now is a forever moment. And now is now. Now is not 20 years from now, and it's not 20 years in the past. Now is now. If I give something authority now, I mean right this moment. This is my reality. This is my life. This is my experience now. And it knew exactly what I was saying to it.
Oh, yeah. And it wasn't happy about it.
Where did Michelle go? Michelle, quiet. Is she still there?
Michelle?
Yeah, she's still there.
Michelle?
I don't know where she's there. I think she's got herself muted or something. But nevertheless, Megan, again, it was a great to have you with me and to witness something like that.
Awesome bonding experience.
That's number 4 in my lifetime that I've had to come across like that. This was the first time I've ever did it remotely, which I was pretty, like I said, I was pretty shocked and pretty amazed that the entity itself listened to me, and to the degree that it did. But I do know,
I mean, like, it was totally listening to you. It was so tuned in on your voice. Even whenever Matt turned it over to me for me to talk to him and try to get his name out of it, and he was like, he couldn't even hear me. It was like, because Matt had literally had him so tuned into his voice and his words that whenever I was speaking, it was like he didn't even acknowledge me. And he could not even hear me speaking to him. And that kind of upset me, and I was getting kind of aggravated with it, because I was like, oh, you're going to ignore me? Come on now, really?
Right.
Then I had to stop and think, I can't do that. And then that's when I looked at Matt, and Matt went ahead and took it from there. But yeah, Matt had him so zoned in on his own voice, on Matt's voice, that he was not able to acknowledge or hear any other sounds or anything else other than Matt. And I was going to tell you this. Do you remember when we first started talking to him? Did you notice his mouth in the very beginning, how black, and like it would look like his teeth were like he'd been eating dirt in a way? Did you notice that?
No, I focus on their eyes.
And then at the end,
no, I did. He was bright. He was a very bright. I did notice he went to a bright. His face was bright, very bright after that. I do remember that. Yes.
Yeah.
Michelle,
and
are you back?
Like, what happened to her?
I don't know.
Here, I'll message her.
I don't know. I do know we also got a call. Yeah, she's vanished again. Let me say it right real quick. Let's go to area code 2214. Welcome to the Matrix. This Texas. Why am I not able to hear these guys? What's going on?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but we can't hear them.
Oh, that's weird.
Megan, I don't quite know what's going on. If I might have to,
Hey,
I might have to reset that switchboard. What's up with this?
Every time something always happens with me whenever with your switchboard.
Let's try something. I'm gonna try unmuting all. Hang on one second.
Q&A mode on.
All right.
Participants may now unmute themselves.
Got you both unmuted. Area code 214. Can you hear me? Yeah. See, I can't hear them.
I can't hear them either.
Shit. Gotta love the intervention here. I don't know. Let me, Megan, hang tight. I'm gonna hang up with you and go. I'm gonna try to come back into the switchboard and see if I can't gain control of this. Okay, hang on one second. I'm gonna mute the other caller. I'm gonna mute you right real quick, and I'm gonna make you a moderator right real quick. Mute you. 1 second. Hang tight. Don't go nowhere. Just don't go nowhere. I just love this. Love this interaction. My oh my oh my. So here we go. Go back into the studio, Matthew. And here we go.
TalkShoe Live. This episode is being recorded and streamed live on TalkShoe.com.
There we go.
You are joining the online studio.
All right, so
you are unmuted and can speak with the host.
Let's say Michelle.
Recording started.
Shoot, not Michelle. Megan, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah,
right.
I can hear you.
Okay, 1 second. Let me try to get area code 214 in here. Can you hear me? Area code 214?
Michelle said.
Hello.
Michelle said to tell Matt.
Hang on. 214. Can you say hello? Yeah. See, I'm seeing nothing. I'm hearing nothing. Interesting. Michelle said what?
Michelle said, tell Matt to look for a phone call from me in a minute. I'll be right back.
But that's the thing. It's acting up. And why, I'm not sure. There she is. There's Michelle. Now, area code
I'm having issues. I'm having technical difficulties. Apparently, I'm taking care of some other stuff around here.
Area code 214 is unmuted. They are unmuted. But we can't seem to hear them. I'll tell you what, I'm going to hang up this call to area code 214. Call back.
Yeah, I'm going to call back again.
No, I can hear you.
Are you 214?
Okay.
No, she is not 214.
Oh.
Yeah, okay. Area code 214, call back. Michelle, again, did you hear any of that the ending of what I was saying here? Of how this ended?
I was hearing it on the Facebook thing, because I have two phones. I have one that was trying to answer some people, and I was listening to, and then all of a sudden my phone started acting up, and I had some other funky stuff go on.
All right.
So I hung up and I took care of that, and then I come back. So, and now my phone sounds weird, but whatever.
Andy Cassidy said the devil is working against your podcast. Bring it.
Of course it is. That's exactly why I was telling you not to name it.
I didn't name it. Didn't name it at all.
But that's why I'm saying. That's why I was telling you to, not to.
What that is our energy. All three of us together, we're having interference because our energy's so strong and so powerful. That's all it is.
Oh, yeah, no. Well, of course, there's going to be the dark entities that don't want that out, period. That's typical. That's normal. And that's why I was like, and I must hang up for a second and take care of something, and then I'll be back. That's just that.
I would you know what?
Sorry, welcome to my world.
I would love to say, because it was, I seen it in the chat as to the name. What was the name? Who was it? And I don't even want to get into that, All I'm telling you is that indeed the entity that came forward was commander in chief of the vessel. That was the strong enough name that I remember and know of that came forward. It gave me its name, and at that point, that's it. Okay, because it had
Well,
enough.
it tried to give us a name. It tried to give us a name at the beginning. A name, and I was like, no, that's not even it. And then he just started laughing, like, and I was like, come on now.
Yeah.
Well, that's normal.
Yes.
That's the thing. You became a better word of it is crap. Now the word just left my mind. But you became. You more or less you became like its dictator. You were like, I will not allow it. You commanded it. You became a commander yourself. And that is right when it was like, oh crap.
Yeah.
Long story short.
Right.
Because okay, for one, they have to listen to the command. They have to. But when the command is coming from fear and anxiety and anger, then that's not a command. That's why I said there's a difference when you stepped into that so-called power of the Lion of God. Then you became a commander. I mean,
And we did.
You get what I'm saying? So, and that's one reason also why it just what Megan, nothing against you, but Matt is the one that stepped into it first. And that's why it wasn't hearing you.
Oh yeah, because I've never done anything in this way, and I was just like, I was holding space, bringing in everybody that needed to be here, and keeping it as much at bay with what I can do, and making sure that he was safe. And as I was like, because I work with Holy Fire, and it's like, I'm not going to give my example, but like I gave to Matt, but like whenever I'm working with my Holy Fire and I'm pushing an attachment off somebody, it's like I have no control. I can't stop. And I kept hearing Raw in my ears, bringing at me, telling me to stop, that I can't be the one that does it. I can't be the one that pushes it. He has to be the one that releases it and removes it. Meaning John Doe does, and he has to do it. He has to get this out of him himself. He has to be the one, not you. And I literally felt Raw's hand come over mine and push my hand down, because like whenever I'm in that zone, it's like unable to. I just keep going until it's gone, and he had to stop because I couldn't. It was crazy, but because I've never done anything like this. I would have never even attempted. I would have never even, if it would have been anybody else, I would probably not have even participated or even came and held space, like I did with Matt, because I know that Matt has dealt with this kind of thing before, and I know Matt, and I know Matt, so it's like I know his energy, I know his power, I know what he can do, and I know him. And now yes, I would do it with you. But I'm like, not just anybody, because I'm like, you're way advanced more than me by 1,000 times. But it's like, I know that I've never done that before. It was new to me. But just because I've done it this one time, or I was holding space and I was there holding the energy and helping him, that doesn't mean that I'm advanced and I can go do one tomorrow by myself, because I can't. I would never even try that, and that's something that everybody needs to know. Just because you tried it or you did it or you were sitting in while something was being done, that doesn't mean that you have the experience to go and do this. This is not a game. It's not something you play on Xbox. This is a for real deal. If you don't know what you're doing and you have any kind of reservations or any kind of fears or anything at all, then you're going to be in the same position that this person was in, and that's not a fun place to be. And so we can't stress it enough that if you hear of a friend or you know of somebody that has said that they've got a possession or whatever, don't think just because you heard this or you watched something or you went and did a 3-day workshop that you know immediately how to do it. Don't do it, because you need to go to a professional. Like, I'm not a professional when it comes to that, and I would never attempt it. I mean, like, if it wouldn't have been Matt, I wouldn't have been there.
Megan, I'm by no means am I a professional at this. Okay.
No, I'm not saying that, but I know you, and I know your strength, and I know your power. So I mean, like, I knew you knew how to handle this, but you also knew how to handle yourself, and you knew how to stand in your power. And so I was comfortable and I was safe, and I knew I had no worries. Now, and I would be the same way with Michelle, but nobody else.
But Shell pointed out, that I was not in my ego. I was at that point, when it mocked you, it pissed me off. Okay, I do got to admit that. When it mocked you, it upset me, it pissed me off. But in that process, I was like, okay, enough is enough. Let's stop the introduction here. We've already made an introduction. Your ass has got to go.
Yeah. Yeah, most definitely. So I mean, like, it was just, this wasn't some fairy tale little let's play with some fairies and make some pixie dust. This was some for real shit. I mean, like, sorry for my language, but I mean, like, I'm not counting the days or looking forward to the next time it happens.
I do. I understand completely.
I mean, because that's not. But I mean, like, if it was to occur, or you or Michelle needed me there, like you did today, I'd be there in a heartbeat.
I know you would.
Don't think that I could ever even try to do it by myself. Because I don't have that experience. Now, if it's or speaking to some spirits, hey, come on, I got you. I got this.
Pam Peterson's saying, I'm trying to enter the show ID but having problems. Can you run it again? It's 136426 is the show ID there, Miss Pam. And then to be our guest, you would press the number 1 and the pound key. And again, anybody calling in the United States, the easiest number, best number to reach the show here in the studio is 714-734-6904. Enter the show ID of 136426, and you press the pound key, and then you will be our guest live here on the Matrix Minds. I hope. No, that's hope. I think that the show's having issues, but I don't know.
What do you think about that card reading he got at the end?
I thought it's pretty bad. I thought it's pretty badass that you did. You did the check to make sure that he was clear. I mean, that was really good. It was really good, because through this entire endeavor, Michelle, Megan was pulling cards. Okay, trying to figure out who we're dealing with, what we're dealing with, who we're dealing with, and. Her guide come through saying, you guys got this. It's going to be okay. And the next thing you know, Megs pulls some tarot cards at the very end, and it was good, Megs.
I pulled energy cards, and I got the Sun card, and then I got the Age of Healers, and it was. And the picture on that card is of Jesus. Healer of Ages. And then the last card I got was Happy Family.
Yeah, that was awesome. That brought him to tears. That's something, sounds like the defender in you, Matthew. Leah. Hey, Leah. Yeah. I mean that's the spirit in me. That's the fighting, defending spirit in me. I want to protect myself, my family, humanity, and these beings that like Michelle said time and time again. These beings feed on fear. Okay, you guys have always all heard her say this, and during her astrology readings, you can't give in to the fear, because if you give them an inch, they're going to take 2 miles. They're going to push the mile. They're going to push the envelope, ain't they, Michelle?
Oh, absolutely. And they're sneaky. I mean, they're sneaky. They'll sit back and they'll wait for the opportune moment. It's not just, I mean, like Megan was saying, and like I said, I don't ever mean to sound condescending, but what I do on my shaman job is I do really deal with some very dark things, between soul retrievals, soul fragments, possessions, cutting cords, psychopump, and I get told a lot that, people will pick up a dark energy with me. Well, that's because for the work I do for the light, I have to really go into the depths of the dark and do some real butt kicking, okay? Right. And so, I mean, I'm not, like I said, I never mean to sound condescending, but if it takes a lot of knowing yourself and not being swayed when you get these energies that try to mess with your head. And you have to really be grounded in who and what you are spiritually, soulfully, and everything, because, I mean, this is where I work. And it's nothing about it is pretty. Nothing about it is, let's look, we're looking forward to that today. No, I mean, it's never something, it's doing the job that nobody else wants to do, and usually they're scared to do. And so, like I said, trying to take the power and standing in that power, Matt, you did a good job, and I wouldn't expect to hear anything back from him at least a day or two, because for one, that's going to be just flat out exhausting. Mm-hmm. When I have my clients and they leave me, and I do it in person, I tell them right off the bat, I'm like, there's a good chance that you're going to be all kinds of exhausted. Your stomach's going to be all kinds of messed up. You probably can't even come out of the bathroom. There's going to be a lot of actual physical waste that's coming out from where the energy has been holding. Right. And I'm like, you've got to give yourself that love and that time. So, I mean, you have to give them a few days to, readjust.
Shelter, we got...
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, I do. Area code 856, I do believe it's a New Jersey number, 865. Is that correct? Welcome to the Matrix.
Matt, I sent you a picture of those cards in case anybody wanted to see them. I sent you a picture of them.
Okay. Area code 865. You're unmuted and on the Matrix with myself and Michelle and Miss Megan Scott. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
All right. Who is this?
This is Pam.
Hi, Pam. Welcome to the Matrix Minds.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
I was listening. Hello. I've been listening to y'all's show, and it's very intriguing. And I don't know if y'all know anything about, dreams or not. Okay. It's something that has just hit me since March. So around Passover, around that time, and before that, I think. But I've been having pretty wild dreams. I've had a lot of dreams. I get dreams that shows me wild things, and those things have come true. But I have dreams where I will be above, like floating or flying, and then I have dreams where I am, at level with whatever I'm seeing, or I have dreams that, I'm looking up and I see things happening. So, I guess the thing is that a lot of them, weren't very scary, but then I ended up getting some that scared the DVDs out of me. So I guess I've been trying to figure these dreams, out and what they mean and whatnot. But when I have dreams that wake me up because my heart is pounding and I'm breathing really hard, not really sure how to deal with that because, for example, one time I had a dream, and usually I've had 8 dreams in like a less than a 2-hour period. Okay. But one that I had that really scared me, I think, was I heard a very loud, stern, strong voice tell me that my 12-year-old was going to die of poisoning. I don't have a 12-year-old, but I do have grandsons. So I was just kind of shocked and stunned, and I was like, what? I was like, no. And then I woke up. But that's just one of them. I've had dreams where things that are going on right now in our world has been coming true. And it's really blowing my mind, and I'm really just not sure, how to deal with it. I've been drawing them, writing them down, and recording them. So, and I'm a newbie, like y'all was talking about newbies and not messing with stuff. So all I do is pray, and I have frankincense, just like Matt was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not really sure what else I need to do. Any ideas?
I will say, first off, that's a great thing. Yes, have a book and write down your stuff, because as much as you can remember, write down your stuff. Because for one, you can always go back and you may find that they marinate, like that actually is going with this thing, and you didn't realize. Sometimes it's messages that they're trying to teach you, like your higher self, your own source energy. Sometimes it's guides trying to talk to you, but sometimes dreams aren't dreams at all. Sometimes you're actually an astral and you're doing other stuff. And then it is a world of confusion. I'm not going to lie to you there, because it can also be, like you said, you're seeing things that are starting to happen. And on some form, you're seeing, projections of what is to happen. And the thing about the projections is that's good and bad, is sometimes they're showing you a way of changing it by letting you know in advance. But then sometimes it's just a warning. You know what I'm saying? It's a warning, this is going to happen, and you've got to acknowledge that, be prepared for that. But then sometimes you're also picking up past life stuff. I mean, so it is a world of strangeness. And I would tell you, if you're a newbie and you're learning how to handle all of this and come into it all, I would tell you to Google a dream dictionary.
Okay.
Because dream dictionaries will give you an idea from like a spirit guide point of view. And like say it was a snake, and then they'll give you look up snake, and then it'll give you like all these different ideas of what the snake might be doing in the dream. And if it fits what you're feeling or what's going on in your life, then that was a way of spirit giving you a metaphor of trying to help you work something out. If it doesn't fit, then I would just look up what it is as a spirit guide and see if it has something. Because a lot of times our dreams can be very powerful. I mean, like if it's taking place during the daytime or is it taking place during the nighttime? That could be talking about light and dark. That could be talking about positive and negative. And the same thing, like if you're seeing something during the day, you know, and you're looking at water, is the water blue in the dream or is it muddy and murky? I mean, so there's very many different ways of receiving information, but like I said, the more that we've had a lot of solar storms, and the Shaman resonance has been off the chart, and you've had geomagnetic storms, and when we have those things that are altering, because I'm also an astrologer, and when you have these energies that are twisting, you know, and doing its work on a different level, it tends to wake us up more, and it tends to bring up the psychic energy, jack it up a little bit more. So, I mean, the best way I can tell you is keep your notes and just be gentle with yourself and, you know, refer back to them as needed. And like I said, I would also look up a dream dictionary, but when it's something from the future, you know, something that is to come true, and you notice it come true, that's one of those, it's a curse and it's a blessing, because sometimes they're showing you things that you could change, but then when you change it, what will it change to? So you really don't know. You know what I'm saying? I would just tell you to be, just accept yourself the growth and give yourself the pampering you need. Does that make any sense for you, honey?
Yeah.
What do you think, Pam?
I don't know much about dreams.
I'm sorry?
I said, what do you think, Pam?
I think that I think that was, you know, pretty good. I'm still trying to decipher, but I think that the daydreams, which my dreams do come in the morning, you know, like between 7 and 10 or 11, and I can't even wake up. It's like I just can't wake up from nothing, but and I just go through and I have those dreams, and they're always in the morning. But I guess learning about, you know, trying to understand what the dreams are. Like, you know, I've had dreams of what's been going on in the country, and they happen, you know, the dreams came before the things actually happened. You know, like the sky being, you know, very, very orange and not being able to see anything. And there was a silhouette of a figure that was looking at the orange mass as one of the pictures that I had drawn out. And all I could see was, like, you know, a head and shoulders and down, and then the rest of it, because he was, like, looking at it. And I was just like, what does this mean? What does this mean? And then, you know, all of a sudden, you know, fires were happening, and the skies were all red, and I was like, oh my gosh. I've seen so many things, and then there's still, you know, a couple that haven't come to yet, or I'm trying to figure out what it is. Like seeing a dome with something on top of it, and it was hazy, and there were weird trees, you know, in front of this thing, but I couldn't get there fast enough because I was floating or flying, and I was trying to get there, but I couldn't hone in on it. It wouldn't let me get there to see what was on top of the dome. So I was just like, I'm so frustrated. It's like, let me see what's on top so I can try to figure out what building this is, you know. But it wouldn't let me do it.
I have a question, Pam. In related to your dreams, right? And trying to figure out where you're to go here with these dreams, and what you're trying to possibly get out of them. On behalf of the Matrix and Megan, right? Would you like a 3-card reading? Would you like that? I'm serious. Would you like that? Megan, are you up to that?
Yes. Yeah, I've already got her card.
Megan has her cards.
Yeah, so what I'm saying. Megan, if you're up to that, would you give her a 3-card? Well,
I've already got her card played out.
Gotcha. Where's this girl stand?
Okay, so like I don't know much about dreams because I don't no, I don't remember any of my dreams. I haven't remembered like 16 of my dreams out of my whole entire life. So I really can't touch on the dream subject. But with what cards have come out, your first card is the Sun card, and it talks about bringing new life in, or bringing a new aspect of yourself in, finding a new part of you, a new beginning, joy and happiness, and that's something that you're looking for. You're wanting this picture perfect, life and reality, but you're also accepting the fact that not everything's picture perfect. But you do have the Sun card, which shows that this life that you've been looking for and needing and wanting is right there at your fingertips. But your next card is the fourth chakra, and it's Archangel Raphael. And, it speaks of that's your heart chakra. And it's time that you start listening and opening your heart up more and allowing yourself to not only be loved, but love yourself and give love. Because the next card is broken heart. Okay? I don't know if you've recently gone through a breakup or a divorce, or I do feel like this massive grieving that you're going through and you feel like your heart's been just shattered. And I mean, like, I totally feel it, and you're going to be okay. With this occurring, there was a reason for it. It was a life lesson. It was, something that you had to go through to be able to move up and start a new beginning and continue on and stay on your path, because your next card is the Patience card. And this is one thing everybody, I don't care who you are, has a struggle with, and it's patience. But what you have to do and remember, yes, you have to be patient with yourself. You have to allow yourself to properly heal. You have to work on you, because you have to fix you. You can't jump into something or be with somebody or try to even get into anything if you are not fixed. Because if you're not fixed, you're going in or entering into something halfway there. And you don't want to do that, because then that leaves room for another heartache or problems. So you need to take this time and heal your heart, but you got to be patient with yourself, because this joy, this happiness, this new beginning, this picture perfect life that you've always wanted is right there. But you have to get past this heartache, but you got to remember you have to be patient with yourself. And what I'm hearing is this: when it comes to this dream, I do feel it has a lot to do with you feeling left behind, or like you're not, like someone is leaving you out of a pitch, like you're being left behind, not being able to get what it is that you're looking for. And what I'm hearing is that just because things don't always go your way or go the way you want them to go, that doesn't mean they're necessarily bad. And if you're not actually getting something in, just know that eventually you'll get your place. And just start working on you. Continue with your spirituality, because you have an extremely high vibration. And I love your energy, but your heart is just like, it just hurts. And
she's getting walked on. Let's just cut to the chase.
Yep, it's damaged.
No, you're not damaged. It's not damaged. It's fixable and it's repairable. And don't ever say you're damaged, because you're not damaged. It's always fixable, and you're always repairable. Don't ever say that, okay? That's low vibration.
Yeah. I appreciate that.
Hey,
You're welcome.
Pammy.
I hope that helps.
Pam.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, baby.
Yeah.
You were damaged. You may have been damaged in the past, but the words that you speak into your world, okay, that's this. And now here, you gotta remember, myself and Megan cast out an entity today, and it knew what words come out of my mouth manifest into reality. It knew what I was saying whenever I said clearly, now is now. Now was not 5 years ago, Pam. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
It's not 8 years ago, Pam. It's right now.
Right.
Now is now.
Right.
So John Doe may have given that entity authority 5 years ago or 8 years ago, but guess what? That's not now. Okay?
Right, let's go.
Now is now. And now I take my power back. Now I make my stand. Now I am unshakable. Now I am strong. Okay?
Now my heart is
Yes.
good.
Very good.
As well as the only way to get to the future is through the now.
That's right. That's right. It's absolutely
So
correct.
anything you want in the future, you must do now.
Yeah, Michelle, you touched on that in your last astrology reading for the Starseed community.
Yep, that's what I've been saying.
Yeah, I remember that.
Theme.
Pam, you got any other
That's
questions, sweetheart? You wanna hang tight? Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep listening. I so appreciate you guys, and I tell you, this is, I think, the second time that I've got to hear y'all. I hadn't. It finally came through on Facebook.
Ironic.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I have a lot of issues with that, but so I'm obviously, there's a reason. I popped on, or you guys popped on, and I heard you, and I sat down and I listened. So, I mean, it's a good thing. But I truly appreciate your advice, your words of wisdom, and all of that, because I have been struggling for at least 7 years, actually longer than that. But so I appreciate it, and I will utilize everything that y'all told me. So I appreciate it, really.
Bless your heart, Pam. Bless your heart, dear.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Much love, babe.
Okay.
All
Thank
right.
you so much.
Good night, Miss Pam.
All right.
Thank you.
Good night. You too.
All right. Well, ladies, thank you for Megan. Thank you for giving her a reading. That was really, really, really nice of you. I appreciate that. Yeah. I think she needed it.
I was just laughing because I was like, Meg is just sitting there shuffling.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, right. That's funny.
I mean, I sleep with them. I wake up with them. They're always in my hand. And I got a new deck, Matt, today.
Yeah? What is this?
And you're going to love it.
Oh, yeah, the
It's the
Egyptian
eternal-
deck.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, the
Yes.
Egyptian
It
deck.
is pretty badass.
We're gonna have to like pin me down when I got like 25, 30 minutes, and we're gonna have to like repeat that. That'd be an interesting deck. If there anybody else that would like wish to call the show and talk about like any kind of an interaction,
Or one of the readings.
or want a free reading from Megan. We got an astrology question to ask Michelle. Now would definitely be a good time to do that. Again, tonight is all about the not having the fear when it comes to these entities. They've got in your lifetime no governance at all unless you give it to them. And again, you heard me say it. If you give them an inch, they're going to take 2 miles. They're going to push past that mile. They're going to go for the gusto. They're going to go for the gusto. They're going to take 2 miles. You give them an inch, they're going to take a mile plus some.
not just that. I mean, I hear exactly what you're saying, Matt. But for those people who read between the lines, who do listen to the energy forecast, I've been saying with Uranus and Taurus, you know, I keep trying to tell everybody, you have better get in your power, because if you are not, someone or something else will. And with the energies that are going on, and I've been saying it, and I hate to say it, I'm not trying to be negative, but I'm like, the energies, you have to understand when you look at it from an astrologer point of view, Uranus is independence, individuality, uniqueness, freedom, self-worth, self-value, self-esteem. But Taurus is universally the second house, which is also possessions. It's law of effect, law of attraction. It's money. It's abundance. And when you're not in that self-worth, self-value, self-esteem, when you're not in that liberated spirit, that authentic truth, then you're opening yourself up to be something else's possession. And the energies that are on, and I hate to say it, but I'm not surprised. I mean, because I've been getting a lot more work lately, and I don't expect it to end. And I keep saying it because, and not because I'm trying to put fear in people, but I'm trying to put them in, you know, come back to yourself, come back to your authenticity, come back to your liberation, come back to loving yourself enough to tell others to fuck off, you know, and get in that power, because those energies, like we were talking about, those not just demonic energies, but entities that have not crossed, or spirits that have not crossed, that are sitting in the purgatory, sitting in the middle worlds, that haven't found their way. You know, they are eventually, they're getting stronger too.
Lower level astral entities. I call it lower level astral. You call it purgatory.
Yeah. Well, I call it the in between. It's the different realms of the middle world. It's the different realms, because it's not just one. There's many. You know, and there's many different. You know, it's just like, you know, the world has many states, many countries. It's the same idea. You know, and when you're talking about not even, like I said, lower level bad things, I mean, some of these are, you know, energies that have crossed over but haven't crossed. They're stuck in the middle, and eventually, I'll use the shop I work at as a perfect example. We have some spirits there. Some have crossed, some have not. And we work with them, and we're happy to help them cross, you know, but some just still are not ready, you know. And a couple months back, we started noticing weird things, like all of a sudden cases were becoming unlocked and doors were open. And with me knowing what is going on with astrology, I was like, yo, you need to sit the spirits down in here and find out what's up. Because they're now all of a sudden unlocking cases. They're trying to get your attention. You know what I'm saying? And like in this case, it wasn't a bad situation, other than there was a couple spirits that weren't being acknowledged, you know, and all they really wanted was, because from their time, they were like, can you put up, since we're dealing with spirit and we're dealing with, you know, these kind of energies, and they kind of like look over the store, but at the same time, we're happy to cross them over and so forth. But they just wanted to be acknowledged. They wanted to be remembered as well. So they were like, can you put up pictures around the store from the time frame that we lived in? And we were like, yes, we're happy to work with you in that. And they stopped opening the cases, you know. But what I'm saying is they're capable of that. And when you start realizing that, when you're talking about the ill-minded ones, this is why I push so badly. I'm like, if you aren't getting in your power, you're not coming into your authority, you're not coming into your authenticity, you're not coming back into your, you know what, I don't have to do this, and I'm not going to anymore, you know, then, like I said, these energies are getting more, and you will see more possessions. As much as I hate to admit it, or just negative entities. I've had one try to push me down the steps before too. Simply because I didn't give it respect. And so I mean, I'm not the slightest bit surprised at what you will or will not see. I'm just saying, you need to acknowledge that. It's you've got to stand in your power. You've got to come into your truth. But you've got to make sure not to do it from ego, like you did today. And I'm proud of you. But so many people don't understand that when they're under pressure.
Wow.
Exactly.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I must welcome Mr. Socrates to the show. Say hello to Michelle. Say hello to Michelle Espinosa, my friend, and Miss Megan Scott. What's up, Socrates?
I'm a big fan of both of these ladies. Okay, big fan.
Hey, Socrates.
I follow them all the time.
Awesome.
We love you, honey.
We do.
I
We
love you too. Love you right back. I didn't catch the whole thing. I just like it at like the last 20 minutes. I've been busy, but what you were talking about, Michelle, I think it was Michelle. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Michelle. Have y'all ever read Dante's Purgatory?
Dante's Inferno.
Like, book?
Dante's Inferno. Yes.
Purgatory. He wrote a lot of books. Like 3, 4. He wrote a series of. Back in those days, we would call them soap operas. Nowadays, or like if you guys have ever read the Dictionary of Angels by the illustrations are by Gustav Davidson, and it tells you. Okay, so you know the timelines and you know the seasons and you know where they come from, where they're depicted in the Bible. I was listening to you, Michelle, but you never know. Angels. They come from the Bible. They're in Revelation. They're in every book. They're in the book of Daniel. They're named, but we've been lied to by the Catholic Church like we can't even believe. Anyway,
it's amazing. This guy, this John Doe that I just had a confrontation with today was Catholic. Get a load of that. John Doe was Catholic
in Mexico City. You can't tell me nothing about Catholicism. I did my first communion. I was baptized Catholic. The whole 9 yards, and I believe on what the Bible, the Catholic Church taught me about the Bible, because I read it. I've read it, and I keep reading it all the time. But when it comes down to like priests molesting, look, I got to know a priest, and this was a priest in Mexico City in our community. I knew the women he was sleeping with. That was my buddy's mom's. So it's like all of a sudden I'm like, who's that showering with your mom? It's like, oh, that's a priest. Yeah, I'm like, holy shit. No wonder why my grandma don't like them. And my grandma was a devout Catholic.
Right.
And so am I. Okay, then you were talking about exorcism. I've studied. I know the whole Roman ritual. I know the Apostles' Creed. I know all the Catholic prayers.
Well, where the hell were you at today, then?
No.
Where the hell were you?
My wife, she died in 2006, October 2005. Anyway, she had demons in her. Okay, and she would tell me, like, I see them, honey. Don't worry about it. I got the prayers. Just relax, smoke some weed, and I got this type of shit.
I got this type of shit.
And that was back then. After she passed away, I stopped praying. I pretty much made an agreement with the devil and the Lord Jehovah. It's like, both of you leave me alone right now until I.
I want a break. Y'all just go to your separate corners.
Pretty much, yeah. For years.
That is hilarious,
and it wasn't until Steve came back into my life.
Right. Well, you know what? You're
like,
good.
Oh, I see it now.
Sock, you're a good
I see
man.
the whole picture.
You're a good man, Socrates.
Even Jesus say, "Why you call me good, bro?" No, I've done a lot of bad.
No. You're good. Okay, wait. Are you? So you're telling me you're not a good man?
No. bro, good and evil, even though they're complementary to each other, are integral parts of the same whole. Look at the book of Job, how it's a chess game between the Lord, the Creator, and Satan, Lucifer, okay? And they're playing a chess game. And Job's like, hey, I haven't done shit. My life, my whole entire life, I'm 52 years old, okay? My life, I can relate to Job. I've lived without my daughters. I live without my wives. I've had losses like crazy. And, okay, here's the bottom line. We are, right now, I'm seeing it. I don't have all the time to be watching social media and all that, but when I do, I see the message being conveyed. It's like, don't shoot the messenger. It's like, sometimes, you know, we might get it wrong or whatever, but this show, The Matrix Minds, Black Sheep Media, it has, like, totally opened up. If this show didn't exist, people would still be asleep. Everybody would probably still be asleep.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, you give us a lot of credit, man. Holy cow.
I do. You wouldn't catch my ear. I'd be the first to drop you, bro. I the other day I was listening to this girl's a live podcast, and she was all like spiritual and blah 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 blah. And I got on the chat line, and I was listening and blah blah blah, and I was looking at her and watching her how she was reading the feed, and then listening to what she was saying afterwards. And you know what I wrote down on the feed? I said, I don't trust you. And she's like, whoa, wait a minute, stop. She stopped and she goes, oh, what an idiot. I kind of felt bad, but you know what? My gut feeling told me, I don't trust this girl. Whatever she's filling out, I don't feel her.
Mm-hmm.
And every one of your guests, Matt, every single one of them, I felt them.
Were your bells and whistles going off during that live stream of hers?
I triggered her, but no, it was kind of like I don't, because I can see right through you. You know, the eyes are the windows to the soul.
Mm-hmm.
I can see. It was like it's like, okay, you're speaking, but you're kind of like you're trying to be like popular on TikTok, and that's not. And you're talking some real shit, but at the same time, you're being a parrot. Everybody can be a parrot. Anybody can be a parrot. You know,
Socrates, you hit the nail on the head. You hit the nail on the head, bro. Totally. Let me say something in regard to that. Okay.
I'm listening.
I have been around for 15 years doing podcasts and radio shows, VCasts. Right now we've got listen. We've got 44 people watching on the Matrix Minds Sandbox. 44.
Uh-huh.
Okay? I'm grateful for the 44 that we've got. But I could give a shit if there's 44 to 444 or 4,444. I'm wanting
or two, as long as there's two.
As long as their mind can connect and understand what my spirit, my heart is projecting. I don't care whether there's 4 or 4,000. Okay,
Bro, this is the kind of podcast that if you're not with us, you can't take it. You can't continue listening. You cannot comprehend what we're saying.
Very possible.
So everybody tuned in. Remember last week, bro? I caught your troll, and I'm like, let me see if Matt catches them, and you did right away.
Oh Lord God, yeah. Yeah, I watched the feed. I watched the guys.
And we don't need to say nothing. I don't even think I mentioned anything except for, did you catch that troll?
Mm-hmm.
But to also agree with what Socrates is saying, I mean, that could go two ways with this person that he, strolled across. And I say all the time, because there are people out there who claim to be mediums, claim to be card readers, claim to be crystal healers, claim to be Reiki healers, claim to be shamans, claim to be all of this. And they have just enough information to make them sound good, and then that's where they stop. Just enough to be like, I've learned enough about a little bit of enough, but then they're really not in tune, or they're a complete decoy. And, like he said, he called them out on it. And and whether you're calling them out on it because they have a negative entity with them or because they're full of shit, I mean, it needs to happen either way. Because, frankly, for those of us, like in my area of work, I have to seriously bust my butt, work very hard to try to do what I can in the light because it's working from the darkness to bring you back.
I can totally hear that in your voice.
Yes, I have to work very hard from the dark to find a way to pull your ass back to the light and to put things back together. And then you have those people out there who are like, I will send you a chakra reading for $300. And I'm like, I want a sparkle. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I mean, I'm not going to deny that I don't charge. You're putting my life in danger when I do these things. And I prepare myself for days in advance, eating the right foods, making sure I have the right exercise and everything before I go into that work so that I can be the best that I can.
Whatever energy you receive.
I didn't get to prepare for nothing. Okay, I was literally sitting on my table yesterday eating a steakum with a shit ton of mayonnaise and a nice tall glass of milk when I got a call from this thing. I had no time to prepare.
And that does happen. Because usually the night before, I get the download of, this is exactly what you're going to be dealing with, and da-da-da-da-da, because my guide comes in and is, arming me up. I've had days where I walk in and I'm like, would you just tell me before we even start what is up with the watermelon? I'm like, I don't know. Weird shit,
What is up with the watermelon?
I'm like,
Michelle,
just weird shit.
Michelle,
but what I'm trying to say
she carried a watermelon.
Is it takes a lot of work to try to bring it to the light. And then there's the decoys out there, and I feel sorry for the people who just fall for the decoys. So, I mean, when you catch them and you can call them out on their shit, good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right.
Because there's those ones out there that give, us psychics like myself and Michelle and you, Matt, bad names and make us out to be something that we're so not, and that it pisses me off more than anything in this world. Ever since I came into my gifts, it's like, and I do this, and it's like, there's those who are so, they're so fake, and they're just not right, and they don't speak the truth, and then when they do speak, they're not speaking even true things. And there's so many people out there right now that are so lost and so looking for something to grab a hold of, and they're grabbing a hold of things from these people, and they're misleading them and taking them down a path and giving them information and advice that is wrong, and they're confused and they're scared, and it's just not right.
Will ultimately harm them, yes.
And they'll follow any advice. I mean, the road to hell is paved with good intentions, right? So anybody with a smile.
I say that all the time.
Okay. No, by the way, that reminds me, ladies, that's why I called in, is because I was watching. Could I have a reading?
Yes, you can. I've already got your cards laid out, Socrates.
Thank you.
You didn't have to ask that twice, did you?
And I'll answer whatever.
You didn't have to ask it twice.
But that's why I called in.
She has her cards in her hand almost 24 hours a day. It's just like in a mid-conversation with her, you can't have a conversation with her without hearing cards in the background being shuffled.
This is very true.
Oh, I know my cards.
Very true.
Yes, I mean, I have a big obsession with cards. I mean, like, I have way too many, but I said, hey.
Okay, there's 52 cards in a deck, right? In any deck for universal around the world, right? And there's 52 weeks in a year. Am I correct?
Actually,
and then there's four of each, so there's 4 seasons and whatever. But then again, one's hidden.
There's 78 cards in a tarot deck.
Oh, but you're in a tarot deck, yeah. But I'm talking about the regular poker card or whatever. Is that believe you, I was at the Fiesta Casino and I'd be able to call cards. Like, oh, go ahead and give that person a 7 or an 8 or that 3 they need, or Or one time I hit on a 20, and the dealer was showing and I hit on it. Hey, ¿qué pasó, compa? Espérame tantito. And I got that ace, and I knew it was coming, and so they stopped me from playing at the Piazza Casino in Las Vegas for reading cards.
Yeah, I don't read cards like that.
So we're
No.
I don't read cards
Also,
like
look,
that.
I dated a Hell's Angels daughter out in Corona, Heather Perez, Electra 101, and I'm trying to get a hold of her. I've been trying to for years. Anyway, she was the first person.
Right.
We were in the back in the day. We were in the Gothic scene, okay?
Message me.
And
Message me.
she read my cards, and everything that she told me happened to me years later. Everything, down to becoming a widower.
Yeah.
Okay, so
wow.
I know my tarots too.
I'll tell you what.
Message me.
Shout out to Southern California, HA. I love the HA club up here in Akron. Them guys do some amazing things. Socrates, that MC is one up here
Bro.
that
My wife, the one that by the way, her father was the Hells Angels as well.
Yeah,
so I've been, and I'm Mexican, and they love me.
bro, they do amazing things up here.
Raised in Mexico City.
They do some amazing things up here.
I've been able to connect with them.
Awesome. So where we stand, Megs?
So-
What socks
Okay.
colors?
All right, so we have the Angel of Balance, and this card is all about being centered and self-honoring in your choices. And this is talking about finding your balance, finding your center, finding that place where you're not either or, but you're both. And it's something that you're trying to find. You're looking for your balance. And especially with you speaking of, you losing your wife, you feel, I don't know how long it's been, but you still...
It's 2006, but it feels like yesterday type of shit.
You're still not balanced. You feel like...
Oh, no, I am, believe me. I'm okay with it now.
Yeah, but I mean,
it took a lot.
Yeah, and you're not fully balanced where you actually want to be. You're like, so it's
where I used to be. Not where I want to be, where I used to be, which I'm not, and because I don't want to go there no more.
So you need to just go within and find your balance and claim that again. And then you have the world, and it's expansion and opening up. So it's time that you start opening yourself up to enjoying life again and enjoying yourself and seeing things for what they really are and not seeing things for how they are. Does that make sense to you?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Okay. And then you have the second chakra, which is Archangel Ariel, and this is intimacy and creativity, and this is your sacral. This is your sexuality, and your place in finding your self-expression and your love and finding that intimacy and that connection again. And
again, you just said it.
And it's something you're needing. And once you find this, that's where you're going to find your balance. Because the next card is walking away, and it's letting go and moving on.
I'm good at that. I'm really good at that all my life.
But this is in a different way. This is being able to start letting go of all the past hurt and heartache and grief and moving on and allowing yourself to be able to accept what has occurred and be able to accept someone else, but not completely, getting, totally forgetting and everything about her, but moving forward. Okay, it's moving on, allowing yourself to take that next step, walk through that gate, and see what's on the other side, because you're.
Well, I know what's on the other side. It's just that I don't want it. I was like complete with her. So if I don't get anything past that, if I don't meet another one, if I don't have another relationship like that again, I'm okay with that.
And it's not even just a relationship like that, not even like in that way, but some kind of emotional connection with somebody, and that's what your soul and your self journey is that emotional connection with somebody. And the moment that you start allowing yourself to move on and to take in and give yourself permission to accept that emotional connection with whoever, it could be an animal, it could be with some crystal.
I know that. I know exactly what you're talking about, and you're hitting the nail right on the head like several times.
So you just need to allow yourself that ability to do so, because you have your angels have your back, and they're trying to get you balanced. But as long as you continue,
I know that, but I like fucking with them.
They just want to. They're trying to help you get yourself balanced, to make sure that you stay on your path and complete your mission here. And you're a starseed, and you definitely need.
I'm Orion on that one.
Did I do your starseed chart?
No, would you?
Oh, I don't. I was like, I don't remember that. But so like, no. I don't. I would have to like do your chart to figure out. With you being a starseed, you came here for a mission and a purpose, and one of those purposes and one of those missions are to connect with your star family. And remember,
absolutely.
And it's
and I think this show has helped me out with that one big time.
And they can help you with this emotional connection and healing what needs to be healed, and so you can continue to move forward and stay on your path and complete your mission that you came here for. Okay?
Thank you.
I hope that helps.
A lot.
That's good.
Socrates, have you ever had had an astrology reading, Soc?
Yes, lots of times.
Have you had one done by my girl, my shaman girl, Michelle?
No, I want Michelle.
Yeah, you're gonna have to hit her up off the show.
I will. Probably tomorrow.
Yeah, you can, because I have a couple of different kinds. I do the natal chart. I do the transiting chart. I'm also just, for those who don't want all of that, I'm doing just a retrograde chart.
Michelle, we're doing all the charts. Okay, we're doing all of them.
We're doing all of them. Hit me up and we'll figure something out. It's all good, because when I do a real reading though, when I sit down with the astrology chart, especially, I mean, I might be on the phone with you for like 2 to 3 hours, giving you notes.
Done, Diddy. Yeah, keep me up on the road.
Okay.
All good, love. We can figure it out.
All right, Socrates. Is that all? Is that it, buddy? You got any more questions, or you want to comment?
That is all. No. I think I'm good. Thank you, everybody. And
stay blessed, bro.
Again, keep that frequency up, people.
Same to you.
You keep it on the positive. There's going to be a lot of negative coming to us, a lot of negative, and you just got to know how to turn it around and make people smile on that one. You might see somebody get ran over or something like that, and you will intuitively know how to handle situations that used to baffle you.
Yeah,
how do you like me now?
I like you well enough to say, "Hey, Socrates, We're at 2 hours, and you are the last caller, and you know the role, bro. No one calls this show, especially this time, without saying something positive to every single person that's tuning in right now. So you say it, man.
I love every single one of you. Every single one of you. And we're going to come through this like we're walking into something. We're walking into a pile of shit, but we're going to come out smelling like
Oh, my God.
Hey.
Mr. Socrates, my friend, you and Steve.
Ladies,
shout out to Steve.
Matthew, thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you,
We
Socrates.
love you, Socrates.
Love you too, bro. Take care of yourself, buddy. And like I always tell you and Steve both, keep her between the ditches, my friend. Be safe. You guys are the America's backbone, moving the army. We appreciate you, bro. Thank you.
Hey, by the way, Cuba, everything's fine in Cuba. The Cubans are fine. I just talked to this Navy guy. He's a helicopter maintenance guy. And he was Cuban, and we just moved him yesterday or the day before. I don't remember. Anyway, they're okay down there. By the way, it costs $10,000 per person to get somebody out of Cuba. Same with across the border, it's like $6,500, $10,000 for children. Just remember those prices, people. So when you ever see anybody dealing with, hey, 10,000 is their amount. There's a lot of human trafficking going on. On our way back, we're gonna go through the border again, but we're gonna try to film some shit that I might get banned again.
Hey, Socrates, before you go,
Yes.
I want you to know something. As I was putting my cards up, this card fell out, and I heard very clearly that this is meant for you. And I want you to understand this. It's the caring connection, and I want you to know that you're fixing to have somebody come in, and she's not going to replace your late wife, but she's going to remind you a lot of her. And
I know that.
I know that. You're going to instantly know this connection, and it's going to be within the next 1 to 4 months or the next 1 to 4 weeks.
But the problem is I might not accept her, though.
No,
I might
you
not
will.
take the deal.
No, you
We'll
will.
talk later.
You won't be able to. You won't be able to resist it because it's going to be a connection unlike any other.
I
Wow.
know, and that's I know that.
And I mean, I can even describe her to you. And I'm going to tell you, Ned has.
I've already dreamt about her.
She's a Hispanic. She's Hispanic, but she's like half
Hard
American.
body,
half, she's slender. She's got like a light brownish hair. She's got like almost like they're brown, but they have almost like a green tint to them. And
Chinita, and she laughs a lot.
Yeah, and she is.
She got a contagious.
She's about
contagious
5 to 6 years younger than you.
Yeah, bro. She's going to be hotter than a Southern California Socrates barbecue on a Sunday night.
I will call you out tomorrow. Hey, all of us at the Matrix Center, we got to be. And I don't know, we'll put like 52 states in a bag or whatever. We'll pull out one, and whatever pops out, we all got to have like a convention or something.
We've thought about that. Definitely. I've got.
Keep that on the back burner, Rubber Ducky.
Rubber Ducky 10-4. Whoop, whoop. All right, buddy. Take care of yourself. You hear me? And again, you guys be careful.
Thank you, Matt.
Night, buddy. All right, man. Socrates is out of here. Hold on to the britches. There they go. All righty. Ladies, now it's just me and you. I really did. I enjoyed tonight's show. I did. Michelle had some problems, some connectivity problems, but she's all right.
Sorry, I had a cough.
It's all right. It's all right. All right, operator. Which one of you ladies are going first? Can't
I
let
don't
you
care.
both
I'll
go.
go first.
Michelle, all right. Say so. First of all, Lady Stars and Fire, you tell everybody how they can get a hold of you out here in the world of internet things. How do they find you?
All right, everybody. It's all good, sweets. You can find me in 2 different places if you're interested in finding me in general. You can always go to my website, which is ladystarsandfire.com, and you can get astrology readings there. You can also get tarot readings there. We can also do shamanic consultations there, and so to speak. But I also have my essential oil lines, which is there, which is all. I have several different essential oil lines on the website, which are all directed towards your spiritual growth and helping you mature and spiritually solve whatever spiritual issues you're working through. Like, and it's not in the way of like chakra work. It's more of way deep-seated, more deeper than that. Like, cleansings and cord cuttings and stuff along that line that'll help you. Psychic sponge energy. I have a lot of different things that will help you. And if you don't go to ladystarsandfire.com, you can also find me on Etsy, and you just want to look up LSF Sanctuary LLC. And I have a lot of things there, as well as some of the astrological readings and so forth. So you can still locate me there, or just look me up on Facebook.
Look her up on Facebook, Michelle Espinosa. I'm also gonna. Megan's got a page on the Matrix as an affiliate. Michelle, I need to do that for you too. Definitely.
Me and you need to sit down. We just haven't made it that far.
I know. No, you're right. We just haven't made it that far.
We just haven't had time. It's been busy.
Yeah, taking care of mama,
yep.
fixing cars, kicking demons' asses. You're right. We've been busy. We have.
I've been very, very busy. But it's all good because we find a way. We still find a way. Alrighty, though. But, you can always find me on Facebook as well. And Matrix Mind is going to be working with me on some other stuff. Plus, I have something brand new coming out. And I'm planning on bringing it out on the new moon next month, which has to do with astrology. I'm going to be calling it Starlight Code. So keep your eyes out for that. And Matt's going to help me work how to put that out for the world. But to each their own. I love you guys, and I wish you all well. And I want to say one thing as it closed tonight, considering what you named the show, Matt.
Yeah.
Because you were naming the show, I Fear No Evil. And that's coming from the Bible. Let's face it. It's coming from the Bible. And the scripture that everybody has always heard of is, though I walk through the shadow of death, I fear no evil. And in the line of work that I do, and I want to make sure that I put this part out there because it's also from scripture, and it's a part that nobody really hears or knows of. Because so many people are coming into their awakening. So many people are coming into their spiritual newborn energy. And they're going through a lot of fear, and they're going through a lot of darkness as they're doing this. And I'm being directed by it because it's one of the things that my guide always reminded me. And it is in Matthew. And it is 17 and 18. Is it? No, it's 16 and 17. And depending on what Bible you have, it will say it slightly different. So I'm not even going to read it from the Bible I have because I know what I was told and from the different ways I've read it through different Bibles. But Matthew 4, 16 and 17, those who already dwell in the shadow of death, on them the light has already dawned, and they are already blessed. So even though you're going through your dark times, you're already blessed, loved ones. You just have to learn to remember that. I love you.
Wow.
Love you too. That's amazing. That's
all right,
beautiful.
man. Hold your britches, Miss Michelle Espinosa. Here comes. You ready? Good night to you. I'll talk.
Good night.
Good night. Talk to you later. Love you. Bye.
Bye.
Let's say we give 2 more. Ready? All right, 2 more.
Yeah.
2 more. All right, there, Miss my card reader, Miss Megan Scott. Your turn.
Yes.
Where's these guys find you at? Where they find you at?
Well, you can locate me on my page on the Matrix Mind, or you can locate me at Madam Megan. That's MADAMEMEGAN on Facebook, or you can email me at Mimi79, and that's MEMEE79 at yahoo.com. You can catch me on Messenger under Megan Scott. And I offer 32 different readings, from just a regular tarot and oracle to starseed, past lives, chakra rebalancing, DNA code activations, you name it, soulmate, twin flame readings, and so forth, spirit guide readings, and I can help you in every way possible. But don't ask me to come get a demon out of you, because I'm not there. You're going to have to call Matt on that one.
Oh my God. Okay. I love you too, Megan. Thank you guys, both of you, you and Michelle. I appreciate you. Megan, again, thank you for being with me today. It was an awesome experience.
You're very welcome.
Yeah.
Yes.
Everybody's sending you love, man. You and Michelle both. Good night. Good night to you, Megan.
Everybody out there. Huh?
I said good night to you, and everybody loves you.
Good night. I love everybody, and I will talk to you later.
Hold your booty, because here it comes. Good night, Megan.
Okay.
All right, bye.
Good night.
And 2 more for the door. That's 3 I couldn't count. What the hell? Oh, man, Brainiacs. Yeah. Absolutely loved tonight's topic. Loved tonight's talk. It was great. I'm glad you guys could spend it with me on a Monday, which now we are clearly into Tuesday, and it is the 14th of September. Damn. It's flying by. What in the world? Where's these months going? I don't know. But nevertheless, I'm going to gear you up for, I'm going to say this tonight. I'm going to say this on Wednesday night also, for this coming Friday. So you guys, if you're not going to be with me on Wednesday and you're with me now, gear up for Friday. You guys have always heard me talk about the MK kids. I love them with all my heart. Have are something special. The MK kids I call the MK Altar, or mind controlled children. Someone who you have heard me talk to and talk about on the show quite some time over the past years, which would be one that is really close to my heart. I love her with all my heart. I really do. This would be Miss Sandy Bergen. Sandy Bergen was inducted into the mind control and child sex trafficking at a very, very young age. She was stripped from her parents, taken from her parents, as well as just, let's just say, her parents gave her to the hospital. There's the story is completely, totally for her to share. But again, Sandy Bergen is special to me because I've known her for a long time, and you've heard me talk about her when it comes to being an MK victim. Indeed, her story will touch the hearts of many, many people, and she has got the opportunity to do it now, come forward and share, and she's got the guts to do it. And I asked her, I'm like, are you sure you want to do this? And she said, yes, I'm ready to do this. So after 8 years of trying to get Sandy Bergen on the show, Sandy Bergen's going to be with me and you guys on Friday night. As far as Wednesday goes, So buckle up because it's Brainiacs time. It's your guys' time. Open lines all night long. Whatever you guys want to discuss and bring to the platform, you guys have a free and opportune time to do that. Like every night the past 2 weeks, I've kept the lines open. If you guys wanted to call. Why you guys don't call, I don't know. It's a toll-free call. All you got to do is pay that phone bill and then call the show and just like vent to me. Again, I don't care if you want to call and talk to me about how your neighbor's dog, you can't stand your neighbor's dog pooping in your yard. Trust me, I vented that one before. Mr. Andy Cassidy, you had a great topic tonight. You threw it out there and I'm like, yeah, you know what? With the day I had, yeah, you want to talk demonology? I'm completely down to talk about demonology without my ego getting in the way, with the love in my heart, with the light around me, my guides. No ego, just all control. You guys have got that same light in you. You do. The power is in you. The power comes through you. Your guys' belief systems. Okay? Christ gave you the Christianity. If you guys believe in that wholeheartedly, that is the foundation that is unrockable. Okay? Tonight and today, Mr. John Doe, okay, found out just how unrockable and how unshakable that was. So the entities that were cast aside, they found out too. I wasn't afraid, Megan wasn't afraid, and John Doe wasn't afraid either. So you guys, again, you guys just do your thing. You guys continue to question everything, even reality. You guys are the Matrix Breakers. My friends, the tip of the spear. Shout out to you, ABCs. All you ABC boys. I love you too. You guys be good. Be safe. Can you guys believe that? I just said, all of you ABC guys, be safe, and I love you. Of course I do. I do. Because without you, the fabric of reality's internal matrix corrupt system, which is indeed corrupt to the core, well, we wouldn't be learning what we're learning now, would we? It took you. So, all right, Brainiacs. You guys, I'm gonna zip mouth here. You guys, we'll catch you here on Wednesday night when it's your guys' turn. You guys get to pick the topic. Until then, you guys question everything, even reality. Peace out. I love you. We'll catch you out here on Wednesday night. God bless you all. Have a good night. Be safe. And crank up that music, Brainiacs. Let's rock it. One more shout out to everybody out there on YouTube. Appreciate you. I see you on there. Twitch. Video casting, live stream to Twitch. Appreciate all you guys out there in the Twitch land. Bunch of gamer societies. Hitting you tonight with some paranormal activity and demonology. Yeah, man. Matrix Minds on Facebook Live and the Black Sheep Media tuned in. Appreciate you guys too, anybody and everybody there on the audio side of things. Pandora Radio, Apple iTunes, Amazon Music, Spotify, Anchor FM, Pandora Radio, XM Satellite, and none other than iHeartRadio. We appreciate you guys. Keep tuning in. Be safe, everybody. Good night. Got one more thing for you, Socrates. This is for you, my friend. You ready? Here we go.